Okay. How's your credit?
My credit is also not good.
Y'all, please don't get a finance car, literally, y'all.
A lot of people get into car loans they don't fully understand. The payment feels reasonable. The interest rate doesn't seem that bad. And by the time they actually realize what they signed up for, the deal is already done.
Customer sent a lead in, asked for a phone call, said it's going to be a tough deal to work. So we're going to call him and see how hard, and we'll go from there.
I'm trying to trade my car, but I have a loan on it. It's not paid off.
Okay.
I check on the car marks in person for appraisal. They give it to me like a very low. I have a loan left around 35K. They give it to me 8K. So I have a negative equity around 27K.
You have $27,000 of negative equity?
Exactly.
I would guess that his focus was the monthly payment. Because when the monthly payment is the only thing that matters, everything else gets pushed into the background. The price, the loan balance, the exit options.
Okay. How's your credit?
My credit is also not good.
So that'll be the challenge. Obviously, banks don't like financing too much negative equity. They will finance quite a bit sometimes, but then if you also don't have great credit, that'll make this a little bit of a mountain to climb. Do you know what your score is?
Like 580 something.
Okay. I mean, all I can do is try. The good news is this Suburban's discounted quite a bit. It has a really big blue book relative to what I'm selling it for. So if we were going to try and bury some negative equity, this would be the truck to do it on.
It won't really matter how much it's discounted. With a 580 credit score, he's going to get hit with a high interest rate. From there, everything gets structured around minimalizing the lender's risk, not around what actually makes sense for the buyer.
How much money down were you trying to put?
My goal was not down payment. Maybe I tried, maybe 3,000.
And what payment were you trying to get around?
900, maybe not more than 1,000.
The other problem is we've got a price of $37,000. If you add $27,000 of negative equity with very little down in a 580 score, that's going to put you at a couple $1,000 a month car payment.
Do you have something leasing?
We don't lease used cars, but even then that would be a bigger problem because you'd be taking $27,000 of negative equity, and instead of spreading it across 60 or 72 months, you're compacting it into 36 or 48 months. It's a great way to get rid of the negative equity quickly, but I don't think that they would do that advanced anyways.
Once somebody is in this position, the instinct is to escape it. Trade the car, refinance, add the balance to something new. Those moves don't actually solve anything. They just rearrange the debt and make it harder to get out next time. Paying it off isn't exciting, so people avoid it. But it's usually the only option that actually works.
What kind of car is your trade?
Suburban, 90.
How many miles are on it?
170.
Okay. Well, if you want, I'll send you over a credit application. I can get to work on it and just tell you, hey, this is what I can do. Bank wants X amount down. It's definitely going to be a hard pull. With the 580 score, it might ding your credit a little bit, but it's not going to be huge. The only way to find out is to send it over and then see what the bank says.
Maybe I can work a couple of months to build my credit.
Okay. I'll send you the application if you want to fill it out. I'll get to work on it if you want to try. You betcha.
People think they're buying a car, but what they're really agreeing to is a multi-year financial commitment they haven't really thought through. It's not always that people are reckless. It's that the process makes it so easy to say yes without fully understanding the consequences.
As a 19-year-old with $45,000 in debts alone, y'all, please don't get a finance car, literally, y'all. I have a Jeep, 2021 Jeep. I bought back in 2023. I financed it for $46,000, right? I'm like, I really want, this is my dream car. Yeah, don't get on me talking about, oh, Jeep is your dream car. Yes, at the time I was 18. It was my dream car, like most definitely. But now I can't get rid of this car. Literally, I'm stuck with this car, y'all. Like, I'm in so much debt right now, y'all. Like, most of my paycheck is going towards this car.
When most of your income goes towards a car, it stops being about transportation. It becomes pressure. And the regret usually isn't about the car itself. It's about how trapped the payment makes you feel. It sounds like she can afford the payment, technically. She didn't mention missing any payments. But affording something and being comfortable with it are two different things.
Half of it is going towards this car, y'all. I'm literally struggling so bad, and I want to document my journey on how I'm going to get rid of it. I've been doing DoorDash to like pay off, you know, sometimes like honestly me working is not going to cover it up. And before y'all be like, oh, why is your hair done? Why is your eyelashes done? With my DoorDash money I earn. Just because you're broke doesn't mean you can feel broke. Like, I just want to like feel like myself, you know what I'm saying? But my car, right?
What she's really saying is she doesn't want her finance to dictate how she feels day to day. Spending might make you feel better for a bit, but it doesn't change the situation. It just creates more pressure later. Sooner or later, you still have to deal with it.
My car note is literally, guys, I cannot stress enough. It's $978 a month plus warranty. That's $154. So calculate that. I'm paying $1,200 something alone on this car, y'all. Like, I'm struggling, but nobody knows I'm struggling because I was ashamed of it. Like, now it's like, I don't really care what people think. Like, y'all gonna care. Y'all gonna, it is what it is. I know y'all be like, why would you do that? Y'all, I lived and I learned.
Buying a new car feels great at first. Everything's exciting. The drive home, the smell, the idea that you finally did something nice for yourself. But that part doesn't last very long. What lasts is the payment.
Financed a 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee with a 25% APR. Truck note would have been $950 a month. The total cost of the car was $35,000. The truck loan was about 6 or 7 years long. And y'all know the only reason why I even signed the paperwork was because the finance manager told me I can come back in 3 months to refinance the loan. He was like, yeah, you can just come back to me and
25% interest and paying $950 a month. That's a 6-year loan. And she would be paying around $32,000 in interest alone, almost doubling the price of the vehicle. This is why interest rates matter so much. People focus on the price of the car and the length of the loan, but the rate quietly does the most damage.
once you make on-time payments for 3 months, and you can always, pay a little extra if you want to, but just come back to me and we'll work something out. I should have never listened to that man. And I know it was a bad deal out top, but I needed a vehicle. And at the time, I didn't even care about no APR. Like, I wanted what I wanted. It was fully loaded. When I said it had everything in there, it was so nice. Then it was the 80th edition. So if you go to buy a vehicle and they tell you to come back and refinance in 3 to 6 months, don't do it.
Being told you can refinance later makes it feel temporary, like it's just a stepping stone. The problem is the loan doesn't behave like a temporary situation. The interest starts immediately, the balance comes down slowly, and by the time people try to refinance, they're usually not in the position they thought they'd be.
My son bought his dream car at 21, a Chrysler 300. And I bought my first dream car, I think at 40, which was a Lexus ES 350. And his car payment at the time was about $600. And my car payment at the time was $537. I want to repeat that. I was making 6 times more than my son made. And his car payment was $70 more per month than I was paying. He also couldn't contribute to his 401k. He also couldn't contribute to the employee stock purchase program. Why? Because the bulk of his net income was dedicated to a depreciating asset.
When a car is eating most of your paycheck, it's not just expensive, it's limiting. You're committing your future income to something that's actively declining in value. Pouring money into something that's depreciating means you're working harder every month for something that's giving you less back.
Listen, there is nothing wrong with having your dream car, but it should not hinder you from preparing yourself for financial independence in the long term. I drive my dream car now, right? In 22, I bought a Cadillac Escalade, and guess what? Just like my boy Quay is saying, it becomes just your new normal. It's just a car that I get in. If I had to do both of those things over again, I would have kept my Malibu that I was paying $237 for, paid it off, and I wouldn't have any car payments, and all that money would be able to go to investing.
The thing with a new car, it doesn't stay new. For the first bit, yeah, it feels good. You notice it, you care about it. Then one day you don't. It's just a car you get into every morning. And by that point, the payment is exactly the same as it was on day one.
I have $60,000 worth of car debt, with about $30,000 of that being in negative equity. And let me tell you how the dealership scammed me, because I bought my car by myself back in 2022 and I got scammed, and I don't want y'all to get scammed. So let's talk about it. I went in spring of 2022 to buy my Jeep. I wanted the Jeep Wrangler, which is the hybrid car, part gas, part electric. And anyways, during that time, they didn't have a lot of stock because of COVID. And so basically they were going to order my Jeep, and it would come within 3 months. Well, the dealership guy told me that they could put me in a Jeep off the lot for 3 months with no loan payment, and then they would roll the loan over to the new Jeep when it came in. I was like, oh, that sounds great. So I signed it. I didn't have any payments. My Jeep came in the mail.
They rolled the loan into a new one. They ended up selling her a temporary vehicle. and she wasn't making the payments while she had it. But of course, she still had to pay for it eventually, with interest. And it sounds like she had no idea what she was getting into.
In the mail. My Jeep came, I went and I picked it up, and y'all, when he sat me down, he handed me a piece of paper that said that the car was like $100,000. And when I tell you, I about had a fit, because when I had originally went in, the finance guy told me that my monthly payment was going to be like $600. And then when I told the car salesman that when I was picking up the Jeep, he said that the finance guy lied and that's why he doesn't work there anymore.
When you break it down, she traded in the temporary Jeep. The negative equity got rolled over. She doesn't realize she's carrying the cost of 2 vehicles. The first one dropped in value and that drop didn't vanish. It just got added to the next loan. Even if the salesman wasn't honest, this is still something you have to understand before you sign.
And now I'm stuck with $1,000 car payment. And the reason why I have negative equity is because somehow, and I still don't know how he did it. I worked with a lemon law attorney and I still don't know how he did it. But basically, when he rolled the first loan into the second one, he somehow kept it higher. I don't understand how negative equity works. I honestly don't. So if you ask me questions about that, I probably can't help. But basically, if I were to sell my Jeep today, I'd be lucky if I got like $35,000 on it, and I still owe $59,000.
So now she's stuck paying for the vehicle she has, and she still doesn't really understand how negative equity works. She sees one vehicle, one payment, and assumes that's the whole picture. But part of that payment is still covering the loss from the previous car. That's what negative equity does. It follows you even when the car doesn't. If you want to see more, you know what to do. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.